In this lesson, we're looking at planning and decision making, and we're focusing in particular on things like setting goals and how do we establish those kinds of things. So step one, or part one to this, is to identify a problem. It could be an outcome to be achieved, or it could be an actual problem that needs to be solved. This applies to your learning, your personal life, your personal skills, the greater community, and just worldwide, the global network. It could be something as simple as getting better grades, which would be sort of a learning goal. It could be something slightly longer term, like finishing school, getting your SACE. Could be working on a personal weakness like a social skill. For example, if you identify that a capability that you're lacking in is perhaps the social capacity, you're not a great communicator, it could be something that you want to work on, and how you're going to do that is part of achieving this goal. It could be something a bit more global, such as reducing pollution or your personal carbon footprint. It could be something personal like making lots of money. And we can certainly refine that to be slightly clearer or slightly better phrased, such as financially stable. We can establish timelines, but ultimately, in a nutshell, what you're trying to say is, I want to be wealthy, or I want to be comfortable with money. Or it could be, again, something global / personal, and it could be something like saving the turtles. So step two is solving this problem, or breaking it down into manageable chunks. And there's a variety of different strategies that you can use. One of the more common strategies that we're going to talk about is called the drill down technique. So the drill down technique is a process of reducing the stages from the largest components of the problem to breaking into these small little manageable chunks, kind of like micro challenges or micro goals, if you will. If we go back and talk about some of the global aspects, like reducing poverty or reducing climate change or something like that, that is a massive project. It's a massive undertaking. So if you're trying to set that as your goal, my goal is to reduce the effect of climate change, where do you even start with that? And this drill down technique is a great process, because you would start at the top and say the bigger picture is climate change, and go step by step to, okay, what's something that affects it? What's something that affects that I can affect? How can I then do that? And so you're breaking it down into these manageable chunks. And that's why they call it the drill down technique, because you're basically starting big and drilling deeper and deeper until you get these small little pieces that you can extract out. And that's what you start to work with, and then you climb your way back up. So for example, the problem that we're looking at here is that members of the school community are not recycling paper products. At the higher tier, there's two options we could take sort of at the top of this drill technique. The first one is we could educate the school community on the benefits of recycling. And the second one is that we need to change the behavior of everyone in the school community. So we've identified sort of these larger goals. And if you try and go straight from here, again, it's like, well, it's not super clear on what we need to do in order to achieve this. So we drill down to the next step and we break each of these into a smaller chunk. So looking at the educating part, we've said that we could run lessons during pastoral care, and we could link it up with Clean Up Australia Day. In the other one, to change the behaviour, we could create signs next to the printers to remind people to recycle. So we've taken it, we've broken it down into these smaller steps, and now we've got a very clear goal. From here, I go, all right, well, I'll go make it some signs. Here, I'll start building some lessons for pastoral care, and I'll find out when is Australia Day or Clean Up Australia Day. So it's much easier to manage and then work my way up than just start with the bigger picture. So the activity for you is to use the drill down technique and devise a way to solve one of the following community problems. It's either increasing the number of people that are walking to work or school, again, a bit more of an environmental, reducing the rubbish in the yard, increasing the use of recyclable lunch containers so we're not having as much plastic waste, saving money for a car, working out a future pathway after school, or improving your grades or your overall report card coming up. So pick one of these techniques and use it to fill out a drill down technique process.